Good morning, church family. Welcome to this week's edition of BHC Prayse, where we're going to pray one for another. Each week, our church members have the opportunity to write down on the connection card prayer requests, and we want to be faithful to pray for them, to intercede to God on their behalf. Recently, I met someone in a line, and they had an iPhone, and their iPhone cover had 3 words. They said, pray, wait, and trust. Listen to that. Pray, wait, trust. That reminds me that when we pray, when we have a problem or we have a request, we need to give it to God. Let go and say, God, here is my situation. This is my concern. This is my request. And then we need to wait. Sometimes we want God to answer our prayer right then. We don't want to wait. We want God to do exactly what we want to do when we want to do it. But the key is waiting. Waiting and waiting. And for some of us, that's very difficult to do. But the final word is trust. You pray, you wait, and then you trust. You trust that God is sovereign, that God hears your prayers. You trust that God knows what's best for you, and you trust that God's timing is better than my timing. And so that's where when I pray, I want to pray that I want to wait on God. And I want to trust that God knows what's best. I heard a song years ago we used to sing. It says, when you can't trace his hand, trust his heart. Sometimes I don't understand what God is doing or why God is doing it, but I trust God. So when I can't trace his hand, I trust his heart. With that in mind, I invite you to join me now as we pray for our church members today. Thank you for joining us for this week's edition of BHC Prayse. As we conclude our time together, I want to thank you for taking your time and sharing it with God and asking God to intercede in the lives of your fellow church members. And remember the words that I opened with: pray, wait, and trust. Lift your desires of your heart and your concerns, your petitions to God, and then wait on God and God's timing to answer those prayers in the way He seems best. And then trust that God knows how to answer the prayers. God knows what you need even better than you do. When you don't understand, when you can't trust His hand, when you can't trace His hand, trust His heart. May God bless you today and be encouraged.